Chapter 17, Section 1, From Appeasement to War. Right, so the world had just gone through the horrors of World War I, and the Western democracies were trying to keep the peace. But in doing so, they show their weakness against the aggressive nations of Japan, Italy, and Germany. So let's take a look at our chart. So if we remember from previous chapters, in 1931, Japan takes Manchuria from China. So we see the League of Nations response. They simply condemn this aggression, but they really take no action. And we see Japan simply withdrawing from the League of Nations because of them condemning this action. So really nothing is done against Japan. In 1935, we have Italy invading Ethiopia, and the League of Nations gives Italy penalties, but they really have no way to enforce these penalties, right? So essentially, no real action is being taken against Italy's aggression. And then in 1936, we see Germany sending troops to the Rhineland, which goes against the Treaty of Versailles. And we see the League of Nations denouncing or declaring this wrong, but they really take no actions against Germany and Hitler. And then in 1938, we see Germany taking over Austria, annexing them, adding them to their territory. And the League of Nations, again, takes no action. In 1938, we see Germany taking the Sudetenland. And we see the League of Nations giving in to Hitler's demand, right? They let him take the Sudetenland if he promises not to expand any further. But we know that's not the case. Hitler wants to keep taking more territories, and the League of Nations seems to be doing nothing about it. So in 1939, we see Hitler invading Poland, and the League of Nations finally does something. So we see Britain and France declaring war on Germany. So while this is going on in Spain in 1936, we see the Spanish Civil War. The two sides fighting are the nationalists and the loyalists. So the nationalists are made up of fascist and right-wing policy supporters who are backing Francisco Franco in Spain. And because they're nationalists, we see the nations of Germany under Hitler and Italy under Mussolini, who are fascists, which is extreme nationalism. So we see them supporting the nationalists in the Spanish Civil War. On the side of the loyalists, we have Republic supporters, communists, socialists, and those who want democracy. And the nations assisting them, we have the Soviet Union, and we have Britain, France, and the U.S. not officially helping, but volunteers from these three nations going to assist the loyalists. And we also have anti-Nazi Germans and anti-fascist Italians joining the side of the loyalists. So who wins the Spanish Civil War? Franco and the nationalists win, and they set up a fascist dictatorship there. All right, so the last three questions. At the Munich conference, we see in 1938, Germany is given the Sudetenland, but they must promise not to expand any further, and we know that that doesn't happen. What was agreed upon in the Nazi-Soviet Pact? We see Germany and the Soviet Union having peaceful relations, secretly agreeing not to fight if the other went to war, and dividing up Poland and other parts of Eastern Europe amongst themselves. Right? And why is this so stunning? Well, if we remember from chapter 16, Nazis and fascists fear and hate each other. All right, so it's very stunning that they decide to have these peaceful relations.